Yo! Welcome to another episode of Gaming with Mr. C. Guys, today for our Indie Tuesday episode where we shine the light on a lesser known title, we invited our pal from Graveyard Gaming over, Logan Phoenix, to break down a unique title for us. So buckle up!
Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Today, I'm reviewing the 2003 PS2 original Xbox game, A Bards Tale. Now I gotta tell you something. I had always heard this game was funny, and it's a game that I had regretted not playing way back 16 years ago. I remember seeing it at Blockbuster at the time I was making deliveries there, and I was always like, man, I need to rent it, but I never did. So I found it on the PSN about a year and a half ago, and I thought, I gotta try it out, which you can also find on the Xbox as well. So let's break down, talk about the story. What is this game? What are you going to be doing? Well, the story is very simple. The bard travels from town to town, and he pulls jobs. And by jobs, I mean he usually calls rats to go into bars. Then he goes in and says, hey, I'll get rid of the rats for you, and gets them away. He's not exactly on the up and up, if you know what I mean. He really just wants that cash, coin, cleavage, whatever it may be, and that's what he goes with. But the best part about it is this game handles that with a very sarcastic and witty tone. I really thought it was funny. There were parts that I was cracking up, definitely. Then there's some fourth wall breaking with the narrator, who seems to really not like the bard, and the bard, who definitely doesn't like what the narrator says about him. So some really funny stuff here. Eventually, after a few towns of going through, you're going to get put on a quest where you've got to save a princess, which is in turn going to save the world by taking down 4 different towers. And they actually do make several jokes about the fact that the princess is in another tower. After you go through all this work, it's like, no, she's not here. And the bard is definitely not happy about that and makes no small joke of the fact that he's only doing this because she's hot. So I got a kick out of that. Along the way, you're also gonna, as you accomplish different tasks, you'll see a bunch of trolls or goblins, I'm not sure what they were supposed to be, run up and they'll start singing you a little song, and it is actually really catchy. You can find on Twitter, I've shared a couple of those videos. But let's talk about the graphics. So you got an isometric view, you're looking down, something like X-Men Legends or a dungeon crawler game. But this is where it's interesting. This is a 16-year-old game, and this is a straight port. They didn't really do a whole lot, but they did make the graphics look really good. It looks pretty good on a new system, displaying in HD and whatever you may have going on with it. It definitely still looks like a 2003 game, but it just looks very, very clean. I like what they did here, because as somebody who likes to play older games and will fire up his PS2 every once in a while, I can tell you those games don't look as great on our new TVs and what we have now. But when a game is ported in the way that A Bard's Tale is ported, it actually looks really good. They take the time to clean things up a little bit. Now, with that being said, when you see a cutscene, the cutscene is definitely 2003. But, hey, let's be real, those are few and far between. The gameplay itself looks good, the characters look good. You'll get some enjoyment out of this for your eyes, that's for sure. It's not going to blow you away, it's not beautiful, but it does not look bad. The gameplay, it's fairly basic with some swordplay, some magic, you've got some archery in there, and really you're just going to run through towns and areas. You're going to be talking to town folks, you're going to do a talent show if you want to. You can pick up a dog, you can unlock new songs, which is how you do your magic, new powers, new guardians, and at the same time you're going to be fighting a bunch of enemies as well, from wolves to trolls to any kind of mythological creature. Just a lot of variety on what you're going to be doing here. But it's all, again, very simple, very basic. But that's not to say there are not going to be some times that are actually tough, where you'll get surrounded by a bunch of enemies. And that's where your guardians come from. That's where that magic comes from. Whether you pull up your magic system and you have a bolt of electricity just kind of flying around the screen, calling itself a spider to take people out. Or you pull up one of your different weapons you can unlock along the way. Or guardians. You can unlock a woman who's super strong, or like a small little dwarf to fight with you. Or, as you take out those towers, the main boss, that creature, whatever he may be, a tree or a big rock troll, they actually become part of you as well, so that you can pull them out when you need to, and they'll come out and pretty much take out an entire screen full of enemies with one shot. It's pretty awesome. So when we get to the fun factor of this game, it's just a fun and charming game. It reminds me a lot of Fable in that kind of style, that kind of humor. I enjoyed what they did here. And it also kind of reminded me of those games Overlord, because you weren't necessarily a good guy. You weren't a bad guy, though you did get the choice to respond to people nicely or very sarcastically. But it was in that same humor. So if those are the kind of games you enjoy, you like that kind of humor, that style, definitely something you might want to be interested in. So let's talk about the review for this game. Well, when it comes to older PS2 and original Xbox time or earlier games, I actually kind of don't do in numbers. What I've been doing is a relive or remember. With relive saying, hey, if you've never played it or you want to replay it, you should go for it because the game holds up. It's still really well done, or it's just a very good port. Or remembered being, well, you know what, you might just kind of want to remember, maybe just read about it, but it doesn't hold up. It's not going to be something you enjoy in 2019 or even 2020 as we get closer and closer. This game, though, it's a relive. You will get some fun out of this. To me, when I was playing this game, I was like, there's some indie games out there right now that's not as fun as this game. And this game is relatively cheap. So I definitely think if you missed it back then, or you've always kind of wondered about it, this is a game to throw in your cart and just pick it up, because you're definitely going to get some fun out of it. I will also like to say this. When I originally was going to pick up this game, I had read that the water levels caused the game to slow down. It caused it to glitch, and there was all kind of issues. I had none of that when I played this game. So if you're online kind of reading some other thoughts about it, I didn't have any kind of technical issues with this game at all. Well, guys, that's what I got for you today. As always, you can find me at thegraveyardgamer@gmail.com, thegraveyardgamer on Instagram, and the GYgamer on Twitter. And until next time, I'll be creeping around the graveyard.
Mr. C, gaming with Mr. C.